Rise FMers, rise! Welcome back to another YouTube video on the channel, and today I am going to be showing you boys the best Wonderkids on Football Manager 26. Now this video is going to be split up into different parts. We're going to have goalkeepers, defenders, midfielders and forwards. The goalkeepers speaks for itself, of course. It's not going to be goalkeepers, it's not going to be a striker in net, is it? For the defenders we've got fullbacks and centre backs. For the midfielders we've got CDMs and centre mids, and for the forwards we've got left wingers, right wingers, attacking midfielders and strikers. In the video today, we are going to be starting with the forwards. We're going to be progressively moving down from forward to midfield to defence to goalkeeper. What we're actually going to do on this video as well, if you hover over this video with your finger, if you click on, if you're watching on iPhone or your tablet or something, or if you're on PC and hover over with your mouse, the video is going to be split up into chapters. So you can go along, there'll be a section for defence, midfield, attack, or if you just want to watch the full video and see if any of these plays apply to you or your saves, make sure you do that. The players in this save as well are from a 10-year simulation video, so the year you're going to see is the year 2034. So today on this video, I'm not just showing you Wonderkids from, you know, the start of the game that might not develop. These are Wonderkids that have developed 10 years in the future that you can sign and that you can develop, as is clear evidence. If you do enjoy this type of content, make sure you like and subscribe, and I want you to comment your favourite Wonderkid from FM26. It might be someone you see in this video, or if there's somebody that you've been using during the beta period, or whenever you watch this video in the full game, let me know in the comments and I'm going to be sure to check them out on stream. But without further ado, boys, let's get into the first Wonderkids. We're going to start with the attackers slash forwards. The first Wonderkid we are going to start with, boys, is Satpayev. Now, Satpayev is a 26-year-old striker in 2034 with 16 finishing, 19 concentration, 16 anticipation, 15 off the ball. He's got 17 penalties as well. This guy looks amazing. He's currently at Real Madrid. He's got a value of 140 million to 170 million. But the best thing about Satpayev is look where he starts on the game. He starts at Kairat in Kazakhstan. I mean, if you look at his career here, it's so impressive. He goes from Kairat to Chelsea. He then has a few loans. He then moves to Saudi Arabia for 42 million. He then moves on a free to Real Madrid, and he's been there for so long. This is a guy that you can get from Kairat in 2025 and 2026 on this save file. I mean, he looks absolutely insane. The guy can also play on the right or the left, and for somebody that you can sign for 3.5 million at 26 years old now, just entering his prime, he looks incredible. Keep an eye out for Satpayev. The next player I want to show you, boys, is Goncalo Moreira. Now, Goncalo Moreira comes from the academy of Benfica, so you know he's got talent. But what Moreira is great at is creating. The dribbling, the first touch, the passing technique and vision. His stats everywhere are kind of so well-rounded, you can play him in any role you want. He could be an inside forward, he could be a playmaking winger, and as you can see by his positions on the left as well, he plays all over that front three and that midfield three. This guy's just got attributes everywhere. He's so well-rounded. Traits like plays 1-2s and dictates tempo as well. He's going to get on the ball and create things in your saves. And like I said, boys, this man starts at Benfica, so make sure you keep an eye out for him. In this save, he didn't actually leave Benfica till 2026-27, so he might be somebody you can get for quite cheap who doesn't get a lot of game time. Next up, boys, we've got Spanish winger slash striker Jose Reyes. Now, straight away, you can see all of the greens, the 16 dribbling, 16 finishing, 16 first touch, the 20 determination, something we all look for when looking for Wonderkids. This guy looks absolutely insane as an inside forward, a wide forward, or even as a channel forward, which is obviously, as we know, an advanced forward up front. A great thing about Reyes is that he starts at Real Madrid. Now, of course, Real Madrid in real life and on the game, of course, Vinicius Jr., Mbappe, Bellingham, Diaz, so much attacking talent. It's going to be hard for Jose Reyes in pretty much any save to get game time in that Madrid team. If you can take him away from that Madrid team, maybe when he starts to get unhappy with his playing time, I'm sure you could get him for a real cheap cost. As you can see in this save, he signed for Alaves in the second division of Spain, to be fair, but he got 22 goals, 27 goals and 10 assists. He's definitely a player better than the second division. Up next for the forwards, someone who might actually sound familiar, but it's not who you think, Harry Gray. Now, of course, Archie Gray in real life at Spurs, big talent English midfielder, but the Gray family are a family rich in football gene, and Harry Gray as a striker is incredible this year. He's kind of one of them strikers that can do it all. He's good on the ball, he can dribble, he can also finish, his composure's good, his off the ball's good, his physicals are well-rounded. This is a man that if you give the game time will develop into a great player, and as you can see in the future in 2034, he's at Liverpool at 25 years old on 250 150 grand a week. Of course, like Archie, Harry is currently in the Leeds Academy, but if he's not getting game time, you might be able to take him away from them. This might be a guy who's a little bit more expensive, but Harry Gray is English, he's going to be homegrown, all them Premier League saves he is well suited for. Keep an eye on Harry Gray this year. Next up, boys, we've got a name that I'm going to try and pronounce for the sake of the YouTube video, but he's going to go absolutely horrible. Oscar Spitten Niceter. Honestly, when they put like words together like that, my brain can't connect one and two. I don't know. Niceter we'll go with. But Niceter, anyway, is a Norwegian lad, and he's 27 years old in 2034, and again, a player that can kind of do it all across that front three and even play up front. He's got stats in the right areas, good at dribbling off the ball, composure, 15 pace and acceleration, good agility. This is a man that you can mould into any type of player you want. If you want an inside forward, if you want someone that gets down the line and crosses the ball, if you even want someone that plays up front with 14 finishing, 16 off the ball and 16 composure, he's going to score goals. He's also got that perfectionist personality type, which is great for Wonderkids and development. And what makes Niceter so good is where he starts on the game. He starts at Stabæk in Norway, and in this database he even moves to Molde for 2.1 million. So it shows at the start of saves you can get this guy for quite cheap without all the big clubs fishing. But then as you can see in 2026-27 he did make his big move to Inter. Obviously you can see there he has a few decent seasons at Inter, but not too many. But I can promise you boys, if you give this guy the game time with that perfectionist personality and the attributes on show here, he could become a very good winger for a very, very cheap cost. But now boys, I've saved the best till last in the forward category. I did a tweet about this guy the other day on Twitter. It got about 1,200 likes, 100k views. This man is the real deal on FM this year. He actually might be the best attacking Wonderkid on the game. We have got here Saeed El Marla. I hope I said his first name right. I was told, like I said on Twitter, that this guy is actually a massive talent in real life, and it reflects. I mean, if you look at this guy, he can play all positions on the front line. He's got 16 crossing, 19 dribbling, with 16 first touch and 17 technique. The mental stats, he's got great composure, 17 anticipation, 17 flair, 15 off the ball. Then if we move to the physical stats, he's quick, he's agile, he's got 15 jumping reach so he can win a header. He's strong. The guy is 6'2" as well, and he's got a personality of ambitious. Saeed El Marda, like I said, you are looking at him here in this save at 28 years old, technically in his prime. This guy looks absolutely insane. Like I said, he can do absolutely anything across your front line. I would keep him as that goal scoring type winger or even play him up front. I'm either going to click into his traits as well because he's got great traits. Gets forward whenever possible, curling the ball, runs with ball often, knocks ball past opponent. These are great traits for your attacking wingers. I can't even imagine how good he is inside the match engine this year, especially this year with dribbling being so good and wingers being so effective. He would be a menace. And if I show you his career, boys, he actually starts out in Cologne over in the Bundesliga. So even though he is in a top 5 league, Cologne, you know, it's not a Bayern Munich, it's not a Dortmund, it's not a Leipzig. You might be able to get this guy for quite cheap. And if you look over his career in the average rating, he is what? He's not dropped below a 7.2 his full career. He's had a 7.2 plus average rating his whole career, which is very impressive. Like I said, boys, this is going to be a guy to look out for. In every save that I do, I will be looking out for El Marla and how he's getting on. And as you can see in this save as well, in 2030, he moved to Liverpool on a free. So there is actually a chance that he runs his contract down, which is quite exciting, the thought of getting a player of this caliber on a free transfer. Right, boys, that is it for the forwards that I want you boys to look at. Of course, in this video, which I didn't mention in the intro, there's going to be players like forwards like Lamine Yamal, Estevao, Kenan Yildiz, Mastan Tuono, Nico Paz. I don't include them in these types of videos because you boys who play FM know who them lads are. I kind of want to bring to your attention the players that you might not know, the names that you might not know, the places that you might not look for Wonderkids. Like the first Wonderkid who plays at Kairat. You know, he's a lot harder to find than your Nico Pazes, so I thought I'd just include players who I think you guys might not know compared to, like I said, your Pazes and your Yamals. But anyway, boys, let's move on to the next set of Wonderkids in this video. We're going to be looking at midfielders now. Your attacking midfielders, your defensive midfielders, your box-to-box type midfielders. Let me show you what I found. Starting off the midfielders strong with a Frenchman in Bouadi. Now, Bouadi was actually part of like the late FM24 database updates and brought in as a new Wonderkid, so I knew who this guy was coming into FM26. But for you guys who didn't play the end of FM24, you might not have heard of Bouadi, but you are probably looking at the next best defensive midfielder slash deep line playmaker in the game. 18 vision, 17 passing, but like I said with a defensive midfielder, 18 marking, 15 tackling, 15 work rate, 16 stamina, 15 strength. This guy can play play on the ball, but he can also defend for you in your team as well. He can kind of do whatever role you want in that centre mid / DM slot. He's also 6'1". He's got great traits as well, like dictates tempo and marks opponent tightly, especially if you're playing him a little bit deeper. And if we go over and look in his career, he does start at Lille over in France. This guy is going to be more expensive on your saves, but if you get to a point where you have got a bit of money and you want that end game CDM / centre mid, don't look any further than Buwadi this year. Next up, boys, we've got a little bit of a similar player in Antangana. That's a wild second name, but listen, another deep line playmaker, somebody who can play deep. If you look at his stats, he's got a lot of 14s and 15s in good areas, but mentally he's brilliant as well. 16 vision and 16 work rate, 17 concentration, physically very, very well rounded. He is only 5'8", which is a downfall, but I'm feeling a little bit like a Vitinha vibe in this guy. That sort of midfielder who gets into space, gets on the ball, plays a line splitting pass. And what's better about Antangana, boys, is that he starts at Reims over in France. So this guy will be a little bit cheaper when you first start the save. As you can see in 2025, he moved to Al Ali for 21 million. So you're probably looking for between that 15 to 30 million range for a guy who can become one of the best deep line playmakers on the game. I don't think that's a bad price at all. Switching it up now and looking at a more creative central midfielder, we have got Victor Froholt. Now this guy actually starts at Porto, and in this 10-year simulation he's actually ended up staying at Porto. But this guy at the start of the game is one of the best looking Wonderkids. He's got 14 dribbling, first touch, passing and technique, but where he thrives is physically and mentally. This guy is a 6'2" playmaker type midfielder, so he's going to be strong in that midfield, driving with the ball. He's going to be hard to take off it once he's on it. He's got amazing stats in key areas: 18 concentration, 18 determination, high work rate, the vision's at 15, the pace is at 15, he's got 15 agility, 17 stamp. But like I said, boys, with him being a 6'2" midfielder, all of these stats are going to feel elevated because he's going to be so powerful in game and so strong in that match engine. Like I said, boys, he starts at Porto in saves, and actually in this simulation he's managed to stay there for 10 years, which is quite impressive. But I would definitely try and get this guy early on, nurture him with the training into whatever midfielder you like. Like I said, I would recommend keeping him as that playmaker, that driving force through the middle of your team. Froholt is definitely one of the best Wonderkid midfielders this year. Get him on your shortlist. Next up, boys, we've got Colombian midfielder John Solis. Now for me, this is one of the best box-to-box midfielders on the game, one of the best box-to-box Wonderkids on the game. Of course, this year the box-to-box on the left-hand side, if you have a look, is like in the CDM role, so it looks a little bit different in the attributes, but he looks absolutely immense. Now the first thing you want in a box-to-box midfielder is the physical capabilities. Every single physical stat on that right-hand side is above 15. You've then got his mental stats, with his work rate being at 15, his positioning at 16, decisions, anticipation, all of these stats 13 plus. But then also on the ball, the guy's a menace. 17 technique with 17 passing, 16 first touch. So he's going to be able to play make as well. He's also got 14 marking and 12 tackling, so he won't be too bad at breaking up the play. Also coming in at 6'2", he'll be good at winning headers. Like I said, boys, I think this guy is one of the best box-to-box playmakers 10 years into the future. He also starts at Girona in FM26, so make sure you're keeping an eye on him and how he progresses. I think box-to-box midfielders are actually one of the hardest midfield roles to find on the game. I always really struggle to find that one player that's kind of good at everything. Like I said, having 12s plus everywhere. John Solis is that midfielder this year. Keep an eye out for John. Up next, boys, is a defensive midfielder in Marc Casado. Now, Marc Casado can also actually play at wing-back if you wish to do that, but I think what Casado thrives at is he's probably one of the best Wonderkids in the game mentally. If you look at their mental attributes there, I mean, 16, 17 plus in pretty much every department that matters. This guy is going to be so good, one, for your hierarchy, your dressing room, but also on the pitch. You're never going to find this guy out of position. But then also on the ball with 16 passing, 14 first touch and 14 vision, he's also going to be able to play a pass. Physically, he could be a little bit better, but he is only 5'8". So if you partner this guy with a bit more of a destroyer next to him, he's going to work very well in the match engine. But I think this guy just looks immense, Marc Casado. Marc Casado does start at Barcelona, but just like before when we were talking about Jose Reyes at Real Madrid, getting into that Barcelona team is going to be very tough. Pedri, Gavi, De Jong, Marc Bernal. There's a lot of great midfielders at Barcelona. Marc Casado will probably struggle to get in there, so you could probably get him for quite cheap. As you can see here in his career, he bounces between Barcelona B, Barcelona. You'll definitely be able to get this guy, and you'll definitely be able to give him first team football and progress him and develop him into a great central midfielder. Keep an eye out for him. The final player from the midfield that I'm going to show, boys, is a name that's going to be familiar to us all in Tyler Diblin. Now, I know Tyler Diblin could be categorised as, you know, a forward and attacking player, but I do think he really could play that number 8 role in midfield, or even number 10 if you're going to advance him. An amazing thing about Tyler Diblin this year and his progression, his development on the game, is the physical side. Coming in at 5'11", he has 15 strength. So he's going to be a midfielder that is strong on the ball, like kind of like that Grealish type, like someone that can drive with the ball, ride a challenge, withdraw fouls. But he's also got 16 pace, 15 acceleration, 16 agility and 17 balance. His mental stats, 16 off the ball, 16 flair, 16 composure, 16 vision. And then technically on the ball, the dribbling, the passing, the technique, the first touch, even the crossing ability. This guy is one of them midfielders that is going to be so robust on the ball that when he gets on it, he can drive through defenses, or he can even, like I said, as a number 8, drive through the midfield. For example, if I highlight his stats here as a channel midfielder in that deeper midfielder role, all of the stats that I highlighted are pretty much 15 plus. Definitely keep an eye out for Tyler Diblin. Like I said, a guy that we all know, he's English, he's going to be more expensive, but he is that next Grealish archetype on FM26. I think in the match engine, he could be unbelievable. Of course, he's at Everton in real life, just making the move from Southampton, but if you look at the average ratings on the right-hand side, look how well he's played. But Tyler Diblin, that consistent driving force in your midfield, keep an eye on him this year. Right, boys, let's move on to the defenders now. Let's move on to the fullbacks and the centre-backs for your teams that you should be looking out for in FM26. I have found some absolute gems here, starting at the most random clubs for cheap prices. Let me show you who I've found. The first off, we've got someone coming in from the USA in Peyton Miller. Now, Peyton Miller as a fullback, technically and mentally, he's not elite, not at all, but physically is where he thrives. He has got 19 pace, 17 acceleration, 15 agility. I see Peyton Miller as like an Alphonso Davies archetype. He's not going to be the most amazing at defending. He's not going to be the most amazing going forward. But what he's going to give you up and down that line is driving up the line with sheer pace. Partnered with, as well, 14 work rate, 15 positioning, 16 anticipation as well. This guy going forward and overlapping your wingers this year is going to be pretty much game breaking. Very hard to track, and he's going to be a menace. As you can see in his career here as well, he's pretty much been, well, he has been in the MLS his whole career. This is somebody that you could sign pretty much in any save. Keep an eye out for Miller. Another fullback you should look out for is Ahono, the Italian. He's ended up at Man City in this save, and what he lacks compared to Miller in the physicality is the well-roundness in every other stat. His technical stats are pretty much 14 plus in every department. Same with his mentals. This guy is just a very, very good, well-rounded fullback who also does have 16 pace, 16 strength, 16 agility, and coming in at 6'1", he's not going to struggle at winning headers in the box at that back post. Again, looking at his career, he actually starts at Bergamo on FM26. Again, a team in a top 5 league, but somebody that is very accessible and that you could sign for a cheap price. Next up, boys, we have got Saïl Koumbedi. This man on this save is at PSG. Again, a bit like Ahono, he's just a very well-rounded fullback. We all know how hard it is on FMs in general to find great fullbacks. So when you do find fullbacks like Ahono and Koumbedi that have 14 plus in pretty much every attribute, very well-rounded physicals as well, these players are some of the best that you can find in the game. Like I said, he's very, very well-rounded. If you look at his attributes, lots of 14s and 15s, a few 16s and 17s as well in the agility, acceleration, aggression, and the natural fitness. And again, if we look at his career, he starts at Wolfsburg over in the Bundesliga. Again, it's somebody that you might be able to pick up for quite cheap at the start of the game and develop into your, into your fullback for the rest of the save that you do. Sorry, I had a little mind stutter then. But yeah, Koumbedi, I like him as a right back. I think he's going to be very good this year and somebody that people sign a lot. And finally, for the fullbacks, boys, we have got Pedro Lima, who is currently at Wolves. Pedro Lima, a very attacking right back. If you remember from FM24, players like Yan Couto were very good in the match engine, so good going forward. Pedro Lima reminds me of him a lot. 15 crossing, with the mental stats of a winger with 15 anticipation, 13 composure, 14 decisions. He's got that 15 pace and acceleration, high agility as well. If you are playing a wing-back system, maybe a 3-back with the attacking wing-backs, this is your guy. Right, boys, let's move on to the centre-backs now. This first centre-back I'm about to show you is going to be your corner dream. We have got Joan Gadou, the Frenchman at 27 years old. Now, do not get me wrong, he's not really much of a ball-playing centre-back. I would have a ball player next to him, play this guy as just the centre-back role. He's got 16 marking with 17 heading, 16 positioning, 17 concentration, 15 decisions, but where he shines is his physicality. This man is 6'6", with 15 acceleration and pace and 19 jumping reach. This guy is going to be an animal at defending your box and attacking the other box. If you are looking for your, let's say, like Yapstam type defender, your Vidic to your Ferdinand, Gadu is your guy. And again, if we look where he starts on the game, he comes out of the academy at RB Salzburg. Of course, us FMers know Salzburg. What a place to go for Wonderkids. He signed for Milan in this save for 14 million, and it's 14 million well spent. Keep an eye out for Joan Gadu. Next up, boys, for the centre-backs, we have got an Italian in Matteo Palma. We know the Italians can defend. You can always trust an Italian at the back. Now, his technicals and mentals are quite well-rounded, good in the key areas, but where this guy again excels is them physical attributes. The man has got 18 pace with 15 acceleration, 17 agility, 16 balance. This guy is like the perfect partner to go next to Gadu, somebody who is absolutely rapid. This guy is going to be your type of centre-back that sweeps up through balls. Them small strikers who are rapid, trying to get in behind, he's going to cover them with ease. He's got 18 pace partnered with 17 strength. Such a good centre-back, also being 6'4", so he's not small either. This guy's going to be amazing this year. He does also start at Udinese. As you can see here, it took him until 2029 to get a move. So in your saves, he could be at Udinese for 3 or 4 years. Make sure you're looking out for him. If you pick him up early, you can develop him into a real great centre-back. Next up, boys, in the centre-back department, it is Juma Bar. Again, somebody who is decent on the ball, but not great. But where he excels, boys, again, is their mental and physical stats. Also coming in at 6'5", 16 pace with 17 strength and 17 jumping reach. So again, nobody's beating him in the air. Nobody's getting in behind him. 16 concentration, 16 decisions, and 16 positioning. So mentally, he's always going to be in the right position. And if you look here as well, look at the 15s in here. It's amazing. And again, in the key areas, the tackling, marking, and heading, 15, 14, and 15. This guy is an amazing centre-back from Sierra Leone as well, quite an obscure nation. If I show you his career here, it's actually quite hard to tell where he starts, but I think he is at Manchester City and on loan at OGC Nice. But at Manchester City, again, like a few of the Wonderkids in this video, is he going to get a lot of game time early on? Probably not. As you can see in his early career, not really playing much for Man City, but then he goes on a loan to Espanyol, he comes back and starts to get game time. But in this period here, these 2 years where he's not playing a lot of games, that's where you want to try and pick him up. And finally, boys, for the last centre-back, I thought I would throw in a bit more of a ball player compared to our destroyer-type centre-backs I've been showing. JD Canva is your guy this year. A ball-playing defender who's 6'2", but with the ball-playing ability of a midfielder. 13 dribbling with 15 first touch. He's got 14 passing with 14 technique with 15 vision. They are the attributes of a CDM-type player who is going to get on the ball and lay off and do simple passes. But then also mentally in the right areas, 15 positioning, 16 for concentration and anticipation. He's also 6'2", all of his physicals being 15 plus at 28 years old. He pretty much moves like a CDM. And interestingly enough, he actually can play CDM as a halfback or a defensive midfielder, but it actually makes sense because of how good he is on the ball. If we look at his career as well, he starts over in Toulouse. Again, a team in League One who are not too great, so you're probably going to be able to get him for a good price, like Crystal Palace in this save for 21 million. But as you can see, as he enters his prime in this 10th year simulation save, he gets a move to Inter Milan for 37 million, one of the best teams in the world. He's a great defender, a great ball player. If you are looking for that type of player, I wouldn't look further than Canvot, boys. And finally, boys, we're going to end with the goalkeepers. Now, there's not a lot of great Wonderkid goalkeepers. I couldn't really find any that were that impressive. I could only find 2 or 3. I don't want to just show you boys goalkeepers who are just going to be pretty rubbish in game because they've got attributes that aren't good in the right areas. So here are the goalkeepers that I recommend looking at. First up, boys, we've got a keeper from Turkey in Karim Matsili. Now, on the left-hand side, the star rating says that he's a 2-star keeper. He's definitely not a 2-star keeper. He's a 6'5" man with 16 aerial reach, but he's got 18 one-on-ones and 17 reflexes. So this guy on your close range shots and when strikers get in behind, this guy is going to be saving a lot of them shots. But he's also got a great determination about him. He's got 16 agility as well with 14 concentration, 15 anticipation, 15 for positioning. This guy is a great one-on-one goalkeeper, your reflex type goalkeeper who's going to make a lot of saves that you can't believe he's made in the match engine. This guy starts in the 2nd league of Turkey as well at Bursaspor. Moved on a free in this simulation to Gaziantep. So this is going to be a keeper you can get for probably quite cheap, and he's quite accessible in a lot of saves. Keep an eye out for this lad in your saves for that reflex type goalkeeper. Another goalkeeper who develops amazingly is Mike Penders. He's a Belgian goalkeeper who is 6'7", so kind of like that Courtois archetype. With the 18 aerial reach and 15 command of area, he's going to be claiming crosses all day. He's got 17 one-on-ones, which is amazing. The 14 reflexes could be a little bit better. He's got 15 positioning though with 17 concentration and 14 anticipation. So again, he's just one of them them goalkeepers that is going to be an absolute menace in the goal. He's going to fill the goal. He's going to be one of them keepers that, like I said, it's going to be amazing at claiming crosses, amazing at claiming corners, but also with the 17 one-on-one stat, he is going to make some very important saves when your strikers are going through. Mike Penders does start at Genk in this simulation. As you can see, he's moved to Chelsea, or actually he might be at Chelsea in real life. You'll have to check that one, boys. I'm not too sure there because they're kind of overlapping. But again, at Chelsea, there's a lot of good goalkeepers at Chelsea at the moment. Robert Sanchez, of course, at the moment is the starter. So again, Mike Penders might not get game time. Take him off Chelsea and develop him. He can then become a great keeper. Definitely keep an eye out for Mike Penders. And then finally, boys, a keeper that is, listen, a lot of fun, but I would be careful with is Tom Hulsman. Now, Tom Hulsman is a 6'9" goalkeeper. This man should be playing in the NBA. He's got 20 aerial reach. When I tell you this guy is never not going to claim a ball if it is around him, every crossing corner he is claiming. He's also got a decent command of area with 14, but where I say to be careful, boys, is that eccentricity of 16. He might make mistakes where you think he shouldn't be doing that. You know, he might spill a few crosses. I hate eccentricity being high on my goalkeeper, so just be careful. But he does have 15 one-on-ones, 14 reflexes, 14 handling, so he's quite average in them departments, but being 6'9", you know, having 15 one-on-ones and 14 reflexes at 6'9", I mean, imagine his wingspan. That is actually probably a stat that is higher than it looks. He has also got 18 positioning, so like I said, he positioned himself in the goal being 6'9". He's going to be very, very hard to beat. He's just a very fun goalkeeper, also having 16 aggression as well, so he might come out and punch someone. He's going to be a very fun player to use. I'm going to guess in the match engine, he's just going to look so intimidating. He's going to be so fun to look at when someone's taking a free kick or penalty against him. Tom Hulsman is a menace. But boys, that is the end of the Wonderkid video. Like I said, boys, there is a lot of Wonderkids in FM26 that I could have included in this video, like your Lamine Yamals, your Nico Pazes, your Adam Whartons, you know, players like this, Luca Diamonde. But I feel like you boys know them names. I didn't want to include them names in this video that you FMers already know. I hope from this video going into FM26 now, there's a few of these players you'll add to your shortlist, a few of these players that you'll look to sign in different types of saves. Like I said, if you've made it to the end of this video as well, this video will be made into chapters, so you can click across through the chapters and look at different parts of the video. If you need to go to the defender part, you can click and see it. If you need to go to the attackers, you can see it. I hope that's helpful to you boys. But like I said, I hope you boys found a Wonderkid from this video. Like and subscribe if you're new here, and don't forget to comment your favorite FM26 Wonderkid. Rise! And I'll see you on the next video, boys. Bye-bye.